Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for March 28th. I'm your host, Aaron Armstrong, and with me today is Aman once again. 2 Amans in a row.
Yeah.
How's it going, Aman?
Oh, it's going great. I it was not here for a while, and now I'm getting a double dosage of updates. So I'm good. It's just the way to start off my morning.
Yeah,
Great.
Aman has a busy schedule, so we got to get him in while we can.
Yeah, it's studying for your MCAT and trying to work a full-time job are not an easy thing to do, but I'm making my way through, and it's so nice to have this as sweet escape. It's great. It's so great. So thank you, Taryn.
You're welcome. Yes, we are here to update you on everything that happened on the Big Brother Canada 7 live feeds yesterday, and it was day 26 in the house, the day that the internet was set ablaze. Lots of anger about what happened yesterday. Not like bad anger, like good game anger. Not like the Kira Chelsea anger, although there's some of that as well. But there's it's a lot of stuff that went down, and we're gonna talk about it all right now. So first of all, let me just get this out of the way. There's more Chelsea, Kira campaigning back and forth. Chelsea, oh, I've got a shadow. And Kira, like, oh, Chelsea betrayed me, but I still love her. And I've magnanimously decided to forgive her, but still, don't you dare listen to her. She's sketchy. She's wishy-washy. Make sure you keep me in the game, but also I love her. There's just a lot of that happening. So, and it's very, very repetitive, very much like all of the same stuff that we heard from Chelsea, from Kira, all the last few days. So we're going to kind of gloss over a little bit of that as we move through the day here.
I honestly feel like Chelsea is going to develop some sort of like Stockholm syndrome from just having to deal with Kira so much and trying to escape all of the madness, but also try and play your own game, but still profess your love. It's just back and forth all day long. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we'll start the day with Anthony and Adam. Anthony is telling Adam that they need to be careful of some of the people in the house if they win HOH. The people that Anthony points to are Esty, Kiki, Damien, Eddie, and Kira. None of them should win HOH. It's like half the house, Anthony. Because they all might put Adam on the block, and that would not be good for Adam. Now, obviously, Anthony doesn't care if any of these people win HOH because he doesn't care if Adam goes on the block because Adam will go on the block next to Sam, and they'll just take Sam out. But, of course, he's telling Adam, like, well, we don't want you on the block, of course. So you need to make sure these people don't win HOH. And Adam is like, Damien wouldn't put me up. I feel good about Damien. I had a good talk with him. And Anthony's like, I don't know. I don't know if you should be so sure about that.
Yeah, Anthony really is just sort of like the narrator of the Pretty Boys, essentially. Just, telling people, oh, I don't know if you should do this, but this is what you should do. And, and I do think that Damien is still a bit of an unknowable entity. Especially for Adam. So I would be interested to see what Damien would do if he were to win HOH. But if the Pretty Boys are in control of the vote anyway, which they will be, and Sam happens to be on the block next to Adam, Sam will be the one to go. So really the person that should be trying their damnedest to win in this double eviction, oh, I'm so excited, this is a double, is Sam. So it's looking at this is the part of the game that I love the most, and that the double eviction is, especially with this particular season where things need to get shaken up, things are going to get very interesting today. So I'm excited.
There you go. So Anthony is also going to talk with Mark. They have a little bit of an interesting conversation. Mark is going to be weird all day. He's going to have a weird conversation with Dane too. And he's again going to be very cryptic to the cameras about like, oh, I'm going to make a big move. What's it going to be? Oh, but I got to worry about the veto. Uh-oh. It's like, what are you doing, Mark? Tell us.
So I know that you were saying yesterday that you were looking for a little bit of clarification in last night's episode. I didn't catch the episode last night. Was there anything that gave us any inclination as to what he was going to do?
We got a Mark DR during the veto picking, and in that DR he said, for right now, I just need to keep pretending I'm a loyal Dane soldier, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. And I have to win this to prove myself to to Dane and the Pretty Boys. So like, as early back as the veto
Saturday,
picking,
right?
he was still seemingly on board with I'm still playing along with them, but I'm not like planning on betraying them anytime soon. So either something happened very recently that changed his mind, that makes him want to attack the Pretty Boys soon, or this camera talk is about stuff far in the future. I don't know why he keeps talking about it now like it's gonna happen soon, but who knows?
Maybe he just feels the need. I mean, because he is a big fan of the game. Maybe he just feels the need to continuously clue feeders in on like, look, like I'm in a good spot right now, but I just want you to know that when it eventually happens and I eventually pull the trigger, I've been talking about it this entire time. I don't want to be accused of, just playing by the seat of my pants and making irrational decisions. Like I've been planning this from day one. So just remember that. He wants to have like a little diary of admissions. So, today marks another day where it's getting closer to me, just, getting rid of the Pretty Boys. So we'll see. Today it seems a little bit. I feel like we'd see so much more fire from him if we were going to do something today. So I'm going to guess no. It's probably not today.
Maybe he's just waiting for the twist hammer to drop, and so he's just saying a bunch of random things on the feeds in case one of the other players is watching, so that he can be like, "No, see, I was really planning on doing something." Really, no, it's obviously not the case. So he talks to Anthony. And he's like a little bit suspicious of what Anthony is doing a little bit. He's like, hey, are you working with the twins, Anthony? I never hear them bring up your name. Like, what's going on there? And Anthony's like, I'm not working with anyone. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's just he has a very strange relationship with these people, and I don't know what he's gonna do. And honestly, he's really making the Stockwatch picks like way more difficult with this double eviction looming. So I like that you're doing this, Mark, because you're making the game slightly more exciting, but you're also making it more difficult for me. So I'm gonna need you to be more clear about what you're doing.
Yeah, he's a very unknowable person. He sort of kind of reminds me of Tyler in the sense, because not in the gameplay, but we didn't need to go there, but just in the sense of like how we always sort of wanted to know what the next step would be, and we never would figure it out until it actually happens. He doesn't really, and he does talk to the cameras. Tyler never talked to the cameras, but even in the talking to the cameras, we really still don't know. So he's a weirdo. He's just a weirdo. He's an awkward guy, and
it's a weirdo.
Yeah, as simple as that.
Eddie is going to talk with Corey. Eddie's going to kind of be on this track most of the day, and he's going to have a couple of conversations with Corey about just how much trouble he's been having fitting in with the rest of the house. And I felt for him in this conversation. I tweeted something out about like I can't help but pull for the guy. No, his game has not been flawless, but it's hard to fault him too much for finding the difficulty that he is fitting in with people. He talks about the language barrier, the cultural barrier, and not to mention the fact that he just has been somebody who has dealt with stuff with his skin and other problems socially. So I feel for him. I know Brent is on the other end of the spectrum on this one, but my heart went out for Eddie here, and I want him to win some power. I want him to get a foothold in the game, but we'll have to see if that happens.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere in the middle. Because I do as well, and I think that is something that you should never just throw that part of the conversation away when you talk about Big Brother and how sometimes the cultural and language barriers can really have an effect on someone's capacity to play. But at the same time, he's he doesn't do himself a lot of favors in the way that he withholds so much information, withholds a lot of who he is. And he said that he wished that people were more inclusive, but you're not really giving them much to include you on. And everybody loves you, you know. It's not like anyone is intentionally ostracizing you. It's just a matter of, like, I think that what he needs is some power. He needs something to push himself into the spotlight. He needs something that is going to force people to pay attention to him. And even then, it's like, that's when that even worries me still, because it's like, okay, so once you get all of that attention, do you know how to handle it? Do you know who to listen to? Do you know how to talk to people? Do you know how to make the right game move for yourself, from being someone that is so in obscurity to being HOH perhaps, or having a veto? Can you handle that? You know? So I feel for him, but also I'm gonna like smack him with some tough love and be like, look, like, if you want to play, then play. You know, like, you're not the first and you will not be the last person to have this exact issue in this game. Yep. And you said that you've been watching since season 1 or whenever. You've seen people in similar situations. So what did they do? Learn from them. You know, I know it's easier said than done, but it's, you know, come on, play the game.
All very good points. All right, so Eddie is also going to talk to Sam about the vote and, like, you know, should we keep Chelsea on? Chelsea had talked to Eddie again, but she gave the same pitch and all that stuff. And Eddie just basically knows that Kira is coming after him, so he's like, is there any way that we can get Kira out? Sam is basically like, no, it's not going to happen, Eddie. There's nothing that can be done. And he's like, okay. So still flipless here.
Sam was like, she was like, hey, Chelsea said that she didn't even want to be here. Like, as soon as we put her on the block, she was upset about it and said she wanted to go home. And I knew that was going to be, you should never say that. You should never say that in any reality top competition shows. Like, from the beginning of time, whenever somebody says they don't want to go home and it comes to, you know, eviction or a judging pan or whatever, one of the other contestants is always like, well, they did express that they didn't want to be here. I just think it is unfair that someone that doesn't want to be here is here, so they have to go. It's like, you never want to say that because it's always going to be used as ammo against you. So, hey, we were all extremely upset with Chelsea when she was acting mopey anyway, and now it's really coming back to bite her in terms of Sam, so I can't really feel bad about it at all.
Yep. Chelsea is going to continue to campaign. To Dane, to Corey, it's, again, the same stuff. I've got a shadow, blah, blah, blah. She still refuses to use the information she has correctly, and it's completely fruitless. It's going to go nowhere with any of the people she talks to, so we're going to continue to just move ahead here. Kira, after Chelsea talks to Corey, Kira's going to go to Corey, and Kira is going to do the same stuff that they've been doing. Oh, did you just talked to Chelsea, huh? I can't believe that that she's doing this to me. You know, she betrayed me, and I just still want the best for her, but, you know, also she's so wishy-washy, and I should be staying here, just so you know, and I'm really a good person for everything that I've done for her and all of that stuff. So, you know, just, again, more of the same here. More of the same. But after all of that, that goes nowhere. It doesn't change anything. It's everything that's been happening before. But we do get to the most important part, really the only important part of the day yesterday, when Kira talks with Chelsea, and Chelsea had, again, previously kind of complained to Kira, like, you're everywhere I go, I try to campaign, you're like right there. Kira's like, what are you talking about? I was only there for like 2 conversations. Okay. Anyway, so Kira starts talking to Chelsea about the Guys Alliance. They're talking about this, and they're trying to theorize, and Kira says that they think that Mark is part of it, but he's just being used as a number. He probably came in last. Why else would they have him in there? He just runs to power. The only reason he's there is because they need him as a number. And then the other theory is that Damien came in after Mark, long after Mark, and Adam recruited Damien, and so that was like a couple weeks later, and so now Damien is also a part of this Guys Alliance. It goes deeper than we could have possibly imagined, and of course, you know, this is all wrong, but this is what they're thinking, and so you know, Chelsea's starting to get like heated about this, like these guys, and Kira encourages Chelsea to bring this information about the guidelines. We're finally going to do this. Eviction is tomorrow night. Bring this information to the twins. Pitch it to them. Try to make something happen to expose these guys. And Chelsea's like, yes, I'm all about this. I want to do this. I'm pumped up. We're gonna go. I'm gonna pitch this idea. I'm gonna tell them about the guys. It's gonna be great. Right, Aman?
Do I have to answer? It's not gonna be great. It's not. I mean, both the twins were already like Dane was already playing a joke on the twins earlier today whenever Chelsea was campaigning to them about, possibly coming after one of them, and both of them just being like, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Like, and of course, Dane admits to joking with them. Like, they're just all so gung-ho about getting Chelsea out of here that no matter what she says to them, even if it does have a scintilla of truth to it, which it does, like, it doesn't even matter. And like the fact that they were able to sort of like Chelsea and Kira were able to sort of like, because I think that they talked a little bit about how they all have their own little sidelines. Everybody in the guys' lines has like the girls or whoever. The fact that you're then going to go to the people that you think that are a part of the guy alliance, like, why would you think that's going to work? Why would you think if they are part of the alliance? Why? It's like Joey in BB16 running around, banging on the doors, being like, "Oh, we gotta get the guys out. The guys are gonna run the house. We gotta get." It's too late. It's too late.
It really is, but even more than that, for me, it's that Chelsea is clearly being used here, and she's later going to talk to Sam about it too, and Sam is going to encourage the same thing. Oh yeah, Chelsea, you should be the one to go talk to the twins about this. Chelsea is clearly being used by Kira and Sam to broach this idea with these two women, and try to get them on board against the guys. And if it fails, then Chelsea's gonna be the one that takes the brunt of the hit. Chelsea should be going to the twins or even the guys to say, hey, guys, guess what Kira and Sam have been talking to me about? I don't believe them, but they're totally on board about this guys thing. They really want to target you. Like, if you have recognized that the guys have a stranglehold on the game and you are about to face a vote where you need the guys' numbers to stay, it behooves you to get on their good side when you have information that would turn them against the person you're up against on the block. Why are you doing this, Chelsea? Make Kira do it at the very least. Ah. This is my first rant of the night. I've got more to go.
I don't know, Taryn. I really don't. It's sad. It's sad, and you would think that, I mean, because we said this exact same thing yesterday, yeah. Today is eviction day. That's all I can say. Today is eviction day. It doesn't look like and I'm sure we're about to talk about this anyway, but even when that information eventually gets back to Dane,
yeah, it's bad, and it's gonna get worse because Chelsea is now set on this idea that she is gonna be the one to go talk to the twins, but like I said, like, that's a bad idea by itself, but it gets worse because she talks to Kira about, okay, but I feel like we shouldn't talk to Kiki. Kiki, she's shady. She's the worst. We can't trust her. Esti's the one we should go to. We should only talk to Esti and then try to convince Esti to convince Kira for us. Or sorry, Kiki for us. Mm-hmm. Approaching only one of them. Why? And of the two of them, Esti. And like, to be fair, I think a lot of people were like, oh, Kiki would never have done. I think Kiki would have done the same thing. I think Kiki would have gone to Esti, and then they both would have gone to Dane, and it would have been the same thing. I don't think it mattered ultimately. But going to only one of them instead of the both of them is it's a losing move because it shows that you're not trusting the other one. It comes off a lot more shady than approaching them both with backup. And okay, I'm gonna stop criticizing just how bad this was, but so their plan is Chelsea is gonna go talk to Esty. As I said, Chelsea also talks to Sam about this. Sam is like, yeah, go for it. I mean, I'm not going to be a part of it, but if you want to do it, that's great for me. And so Chelsea goes to Esty, and Chelsea says, hey, Esty, can we talk? This is like, I guess so. I mean, I was kind of tired, but whatever. Great start. Chelsea is like, Esty, there's a guys' alliance. She's like, yeah, I kind of thought about that. No. There's a guys' alliance. Kira caught them making a hand signal. They're having secret meetings in the morning. This is what they're doing. It's these guys with Damien and they've got side alliances and they're running the game, and it's, you know, all kinds of stuff like this. And so basically what needs to happen, and this is Chelsea's plan, this is the reason Chelsea thinks this is a good move for her to do this, is that Chelsea thinks that with this information, Esty will then have to go to Kiki and convince Kiki to vote to keep Chelsea because of this information. And then with those two votes, Chelsea will have Kiki, Esty, Sam, Eddie, and Adam, I guess, after campaigning against the guys' alliance, as her fifth vote. And that's what's going to keep her in the game. And it's just like, you can't get those 5 votes together on a campaign against the guys. Adam's not going to vote to keep you. Even if this worked somehow, it's still not gonna work. And Sam barely wants to keep you. Sam is also kind of like, sure, I'd keep you. Again, you needed to convince Dane that Kira is the bigger threat to the guys. But no, she goes to Chelsea. She goes to Esty, and so she tells Esty about this, and she says, you can't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone about this. We can't let the guys run the game. You know, girl power, F the patriarchy. Let's do this, Esty. And Esty's like, oh wow, that's yeah. Ooh, so crazy, right? Yeah, totally. Let me get back to you on that.
You know, I'll let it be known that on this here day, March 28th, in this good year of our Lord 2019, I am hereby absolving Falte of all sins DB20. They are now replaced by that of Chelsea and by that of Esty for doing what she will do after this conversation. All in favor, say aye. Those that are forever opposed, just keep your peace, because I don't care. This is ridiculous. This is Donkey Kong ridiculous. And who is she supposed to not tell?
Nobody.
How is she supposed to... How are you supposed to rally your troops, Chelsea, if your troops aren't allowed to communicate with the other troops?
Magic. Anti-patriarchy.
Oh my God. You know, if she had spent more time the minute that she got put on the block, because she knew that she had a hard battle. She knew it from the get-go. That's why she was complaining about wanting to go home. She saw that this was a very bad position. She knew that. If you had just done more time thinking about your next steps and you know what? Sure, spend the time with Kira, because Kira's going to continuously give you crap to say, which you could have used in the situation. You could have. If you had just spent more time planning and not moping about a shadow, oh my God, just think about the potential damage that you could have done, you know, because the longer that you wait, the harder it's going to be to even work the plan. Today is Thursday. That is the theme of the episode. Today is Thursday.
It was, I believe, last Wednesday that Chelsea first discovered that there was a guys' alliance. And in the 7 days that she had to think about this and come up with a plan about how to use this information to first advance her game, then survive. This is the plan she came up with at the 11th hour is to go to Esty. And let me just say, because I think it's clear at this point, if you don't know what happens, that this conversation doesn't go well and that Esty is not receptive to it. There are a lot of people that were like so shocked that Esty would not buy into what Chelsea is selling and that she would go to Dane and all of this stuff. And I mean, this is what we've been saying for a week now. Like, I don't know why everyone's so shocked. We've been saying for a very long time, if they go to the Twins are just going to run to Dane. They did exactly that. I don't know why everyone is so shocked. The outrage, totally fine, but don't be surprised. We knew this was happening. It's like I guess it's one thing to know it's true, but another thing to actually see it happen.
Right.
But you know, I think people had hopes deep down that they were unrealistic hopes, but those hopes got crushed last night at around I don't know, midnight-ish.
I just think that it's so different to hear those exact words come out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Like to watch somebody go through this game and to seemingly watch them being snowed and then to actually see them admit to it. It's just like, damn, like, do you hear yourself? And even then, I'm still hoping, even though I guess it's just the definition of insanity, it's expecting a different outcome. But I'm still like hoping like maybe this is all just a part of Esty's devious plan, and she's going to come out swinging during the double. It's not going to happen.
It's funny how this works too, because like as the second this happened with Esty, like everyone turned on Esty, and like Kiki became the Lord and Savior, where it was like, oh, if only Chelsea had gone to Kiki, if only Kiki knew. Kiki would never ever in a million years have behaved this way. This morning, Kiki found out and had basically the same reaction. And so it's but so now it's like Corey would never react this way. We really want somebody to be the hero.
We're just grasping at anybody that's available, you know. We just have to have some sort of like benchmark. We have to have some sort of like comparison just to frame how horrible this situation is, you know. Like it's really sad. It truly is.
Yeah. So anyway, a brief pause in the action here to give you one more Kira Chelsea thing. There was more angst about Kira sleeping in the same bed as Chelsea. They were making a big deal of it all day, like, oh, you know, you know, if she doesn't want me to, then that's fine. But you know, if she doesn't mind, then I mean, she wants me to, then I'm going to. Just, you know, making a big deal of it. Anthony at one point again is trying to intercede here and be like, Chelsea, you know, you don't have to sleep with them if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to do this. And Chelsea's like, I just don't want to be mean. It is what it is. And so she lets Kira sleep with her, and then you know, she's trying to sleep, and Kira's, you know, touching her and trying to cuddle her, and she has to tell Kira to stop. She just wants to sleep, and it's just like, why? Big Brother Canada, what are you doing?
Yeah, I really don't know why there isn't some sort of like intervention with this. I guess because ultimately, because Chelsea made the decision to sleep with her and she can always just get up and leave. But I mean, I just feel like production has to know the dynamics of the situation right now. Like, I feel like, yeah, she can get up and leave, but then what she's going to have to deal with in the coming day afterwards, it's like, is it worth it? And even then, I guess it's just like one more night that she would have to deal with it. No matter who goes home, it's just one more night of having to put up with all of it. So, but I do wish that this whole situation was handled with a bit more care, because it's uncomfortable. It really is.
Yeah. Tammy says, well, it's not a problem anymore. She can sleep well tonight. Let's one way or another, this is coming to an end tonight, so let's be grateful for that. But So that's going on. Finally, later in the night, Esty is gonna talk to Dane. Dane says, Esty, seems like is something wrong? You seem upset. You seem like there's something that's bothering you. And she's like, yeah, Chelsea came up to me and said, you guys are having secret meetings. That there's some guys alliance, and Kira saw you guys, that Kira said that there was a hand signal, like and so like I don't know, Chelsea's pitching this guys thing, and that she needs to stay to go after the guys, and it's like, what did you think was gonna happen, Chelsea? And so Jane is. That's ridiculous. That's nonsense. Chelsea and her lies. She's just trying to get this women's alliance started again, just like she did in the start of the week. It's unbelievable. I can't believe she just earlier today she was talking about how she would nominate whoever I wanted, and now she's saying that I'm in a guys alliance and that all the girls need to stick together. Oh boy. I'm working with Adam. I would like to work with Adam, but I'm not right now. And
that was the funniest part to me.
Esty's like, you should work with Adam. Esty believes him. Oh, I'm so glad we cleared that up, Dane. I trust you.
So not only is he being accused of doing something that he's actually doing, but he's saying that he's not doing it only to be reassured that that is something that he should be doing by the person that should be upset that he's doing it. I mean, you just can't write stuff like this. You really can't.
I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a good defense of like, well, no, that's not true. I'd like it to be true. Like usually when you're trying when you're being defensive, you're like, no, I would never. I hate Adam. He's the worst. I'd never ever. But he's like, no,
that's true.
He's a lot more casual about this. And Chelsea has made it very easy for him with the way that she went about this, going to Esty alone, going to Kiki alone at the start of the week, and then never getting back to her, and then finally going to Esty the night before. And having no real proof and all of this stuff. And so Dane basically is like, no, there's no guys thing. That's nonsense. Chelsea's just putting stuff in your head. And Esty's like, okay, I believe you. And I went to you because I thought that if I asked you about it and if it was real, that you would tell me. And he was like, of course I would.
Just lying through his gap. Line straight through his gap.
But so basically, this changes nothing. The plan is still the same. Final 8, we're gonna include Adam. Final 4, it's gonna come down. It's gonna be Dane and the twins. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Everything is fine.
Yeah, this whole day just turned out to be rather immaterial. A little entertaining at most. At least we got to at least see Chelsea try and do something with the information that she had. She completely fumbled it. I guess, the conversation a couple of days ago was, Chelsea, do it. You cannot leave this house without at least trying. And now she's tried. It did not work. And now I guess I feel a little bit better about laying her game to rest. It's like we did. She exhausted all of her options, and now it's to the point where it's just look your best for Arisa.
Yeah, and Esty, I think at this point really just feels like even if there was a guy's thing, Dane has got her back, and that everything's gonna be fine. I don't really like. I'm trying to work up the same outrage that I have for Chelsea, but I think part of it for me is that this is how I've seen Esty for a while now, and I've been complaining about it for a while now. So this for me was really just this is confirmation. This is exactly what I thought she would do. So it's like, yes, it's very dumb. I don't know what she's doing. Obviously, you want her to go talk to Kiki. You want them to like understand what the guys are doing and prepare for that and start to branch out. Finally, we've been talking about it since the first week of feeds, how they need to branch out, but they're not. They need to talk with Corey. They need to they do recognize that it's unlikely that Damian is part of this. They have a great relationship with Damian. They should talk to Damian about the fact that these other guys probably have an alliance and that they should probably be working together, and that if Damian and the two of them both stay in the game long enough that they might have some amount of power, especially since Damian has connections to Corey, they should be talking about talking with Damian and Corey about Eddie and how he is a complete lone wild card and that he can be used with them because he's not with the guys clearly, and that if he gets targeted, that would be great. And so if Sam leaves and then Adam's in there and then they have Damian and Corey and Eddie, then all of a sudden they have 5 people. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in the house. Just saying. They're all perfectly willing to work with you. But you know.
Previously on what we wish happened on Big Brother.
And you can do all of this while pretending to still be loyal to Dane and having his protection.
That's the kicker right there, you know, because but you know, Taryn, I'm holding on to the hope. I truly am that there will be an aha moment for Esty. I'm holding on to that because I just feel like at some point in the game, she's going to realize, even if she says she's okay with making it to the end with guys, like something's gotta switch in your brain eventually. That's like, what's the best way for me to win from here on out? Can I survive with these people? What can I do to make my chances of getting to the end the best as possible? I just feel like she's not totally self-sacrificial, and if she is, this is an utter waste of time. It really is, and I just don't want to believe that about her. I also was not that shocked upon seeing what had happened last night, probably because I went to bed before it happened, and then when I woke up and checked Twitter, everybody was upset with Esty, and I was like, what the hell happened? And then I watched the clip of what was going on, and then I was like, I literally laughed. I was like, are you serious? Like. So the outrage is sort of like lost on me. I'm just amused by the entire thing, but I'm still holding on to hope that she is able to pretty much beat Dane in his own game. I'm just hoping that happens. She can't be this self-sacrificial.
Well,
she can't.
Here's why this didn't surprise me, because as I mentioned, Kiki and Esty the entire game have just been like isolated themselves. They've just been like only with each other. They don't branch out, they don't socialize, they only talk to the people that they like. That's how they play the game. They don't know any other game. So when Esty learns that the person that she relies on the most also has other connections, she doesn't think about it in the terms that I said, where she can branch out and form her own power. She plays the game on her own level, and that level is, I have myself and my people, and I don't go anywhere else. And if there were like physical limitations to prevent her from branching out to other people, because she should, but she doesn't, if you wall those options off, then she is doing what's best for her game, in the sense that she doesn't see that there are other options that she can do, right? So if she needs to rely on only her people, then trying to get in with Dane as good as possible and convince him that you're the most loyalist of all the loyalists, then you will be taken down the road just like Brittany. You will go very far. And even if he does have a guys alliance, maybe you can work your wiles on him, and maybe he'll catch feelings, and maybe he will turn into the Lane who might have betrayed the brigade for Brittany if given the chance. And
Brittany didn't know about it until it was
right.
too late.
Right, but again, like this is trying to make sense of Este's sort of thing, and I don't even think she's thinking that far, but I think she's thinking in terms of like, I have my people, and I just need to make sure that I'm good with my people, and that they will protect me, and the longer I stay in the game, the more of a chance that I have to win the game by winning competitions and Dane getting me to the end and all of this stuff. It's because she's completely unable to see outside of her own social circle. It's and Kiki has the same problem. Kiki has it worse actually, because she can't even interact with people outside of her own circle. But they're just so trapped in their own bubble that they can't even contemplate going outside of it. And that's been their game the whole time. And that's what's so frustrating about it. And it reminds me of other players who have been in this mold, who often get called sheep, talking about the Christines of the world, the Big Brother 19 players, and other people who they just get locked in their own bubble, and the people who are controlling them do such a good job of like otherizing the other people, like demonizing them. They're the enemy. You can't talk to them. Like it's us. We're the people to work with. The other people, they're just meant to be taken out of the game. They're others, and we're us. And it's very tribal, and it's what allows people to be controlled in the game. And it's interesting on one level, but you don't want to see it. You want to see them go, no, I can reach across and grab other people. I can start to expand this bubble, but it's just not happening. And so it's very frustrating. And you want to see more from people like Kiki and Este, because they are very they're great women. They're fun. They're like on a personal level, I bet they're like really great people. And so you want to root for them, but in the house, they're like the worst kind of player, and it sucks.
And yeah, I'm honestly, and I think that's like always like the biggest disconnect, especially during preseason. There are so many like likable personalities that shine in these interviews, and I think that that's always the biggest blindside of every season. I don't know why we continue to allow ourselves to be gagged. They bring it to us every episode. Like, that these people were great in the interviews, and then they get into the game, and then they are horrible beyond your wildest imagination. And it's like, we really need to take a look at how we are deeming the people that we are going to be standing from the get-go, and just thinking that they're going to be the next coming of whatever legendary player out there, because it more than often is not the case. And I just keep thinking, like, because I'm a huge fan of the show, I just keep thinking about what I would do in this situation. And watching the show so much, you always know that there are things that are going on in the house that you are not privy to. And I always think about what Vanessa said in BB17 when she came into the house later than everybody else. And she's like, I'm at an information deficit, so therefore I am automatically weaker than everybody else in this game. I need to collect as much information as possible. And it baffles me sometimes, but especially for the people that are seemingly like a little bit of alone in the game, like Damien, like Corey, like Eddie, that they don't like try and glean information from the people that are around them to better themselves in the game. And I just wish that Este and Kiki would do that. But I mean, if they are that iced out and just only caring about this whole little trio with Dane, then I mean, I understand it on one level, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like, come on. Like, you think these are the only conversations that Dane is having with people? Like, really?
Yeah, I really feel like it's very much a microcosm of the real world, and you see other people like Corey, who I believe would also disappoint us, who is saying things, like actively saying things to Damien like, I don't want to know more information. It's easier for me to be kept in the dark. And because like that's the state of our society. And like that's how they want to play the game. They are very much the anti-Vanessa. They want to stick to their lane because it's what makes them feel safe until the hammer comes down. And it's fascinating, but it's disappointing. And so but I will say the light at the end of the tunnel here is Mark, because he wants to blow this alliance up. I don't know when, but he does. He wants to. And let me also say that after Esty leaves this Dane and Esty conversation, Dane says, effing Adam, because he thinks that Adam is the reason Chelsea and Kira and Sam know about the guys' alliance. He thinks that Adam either slipped or told them or something. He doesn't realize that it was his fault because he got caught making the signal, and that he got caught in multiple conversations with Adam and Mark and other people. And so he thinks that it's Adam. This is causing more tension between these guys. Mark wants to blow this thing up. And so once this thing gets blown up, that's when, you know, people leave the cave, right? And they start to see. So all kinds of different stuff can happen. And really, you know, for as disappointed as we are in Kiki and Esty right now, this should keep Esty safe for a while longer. And if this alliance does blow up, that we might look back on this and say, you know, ultimately wasn't a terrible move given the fact that she was able to stay safe until the guys blew up. We would never say this was a good move because you can't just hope that the guys blow up. She obviously has no idea that Mark is going to be doing this. But, you know, it's a better move ultimately than what Chelsea is doing. So, you know.
Right. That'll definitely be an interesting part of the game when we see that the pretty boys start to implode, especially since that means that one of them will be the first in jury. So then you kind of have to worry about, you know, since they're going to be the ones that are coming in a jury with most of the information, how will that affect how people view each other's games? So there's definitely a lot of games still left to be played, and a lot that can happen and probably will happen. So I'm excited in that respect. I honestly don't even know who out of the pretty boys that I would want to see prevail, because I see them so much as just one unit right now that is just steamrolling. So I guess right now, you know, personally, I'm waiting for either one of the pretty boys to run ahead of the pack, and then that becomes the one that was like, I feel better rooting for, or I'm rooting for somebody else to start a revolution. But, you know.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right, that's what we've got for you today. Make sure you tune in tonight after the double eviction episode of Big Brother Canada 7, because we will be joined by our reigning Big Brother Canada champion, Paris.
Hey, yay!
Yes, Paris will be with us for the double eviction to talk about her thoughts on the season and to go over what's been happening in this crazy house and what happens in the double eviction, because there's a lot of stuff that can happen here. Again, with Mark in play and with all of this Guys Alliance talk happening, there's definitely some possibilities out there. Make sure you get your Stock Watch picks in if you are playing along at home before the spoilers. Again, I recommend that if you don't want to be spoiled on the outcome of the double eviction, basically just take a social media hiatus and just like chill. It's like by 3 p.m. Eastern, you'd better be off social media, because spoilers can come up at any moment. So if you want to do that, make sure you do that. But then come back and tune in tonight with Paris, and we'll have some fun there. And then, of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today and tonight on the Big Brother Canada 7 live feed. So lots to look forward to here, Aman.
Lots and lots to look forward to. I think I'm going to stick to my pledge and not look at the spoilers. I want to be in the moment in this double eviction. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'm holding on to that, and I'm excited for Paris. That's very exciting. Yay!
Yes.
Yay!
Very excited to talk to Paris. She's been doing some stuff on YouTube talking about the season. She's great. So very excited to talk to Paris. All right. So make sure you follow me on Twitter at Taran Armstrong. Aman, where can people find you?
You can also find me on Twitter at Aman Adwin.
There you go. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens tonight. It's gonna be double evictions. They're always interesting. Always interesting. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you
Peace.
next time.